Good morning. It's episode 21 of Dirt and All, and today we are joined by WesTrac, Adrian Howard, Chief Executive, New South Wales and ACT. How are you going?
Yeah, well, thanks. Nice to be here.
Great to have you. And Ben, how are you today, mate?
Well, Ryan, it's good. Good to be here.
Very good. Well, you're always here. So we were just saying before we started rolling the cameras that WesTrac was the first episode, and now we're back with the 21st episode. So it's great to have you here, mate.
It's a pleasure.
Bit of a celebration.
Yeah. You were a bit harder to pin down than Buddy at Azurio, which is understandable.
Oh, Buddy's pretty busy as well.
Yeah,
He is a busy guy. Yeah. So, look, for context, you guys are operating across New South Wales, ACT and WA. What does that footprint look like for WesTrac?
What's the footprint look like? We have 29 branches across New South Wales, ACT, WA, just over 4,500 employees. So we're obviously a large business servicing many of the customers, which I know you talked to in previous episodes. We look after a whole heap of markets from, I'll say, the big end mining and obviously looking after commodities, everything from iron ore, coal, gold, underground hard rock. A lot of well, if there's a commodity in Australia, we're probably in it.
Yep.
And then right through to so the civil construction customers, contractors that we see up and down the coast around here as well, and then right through to the landscapers, plumbers in that what we call the BCP, building construction product market. So we have the full spectrum from a 1-ton excavator right up to a 798 mining truck.
Caterpillar is one of the most recognisable brands on earth, and even my nephew, who's 3 years old, doesn't even probably realise it yet, but the toys I'm buying him and trying to brainwash him with, like, he's very familiar with Cat Yellow as it is. And WesTrac is one of the world's largest Caterpillar dealers. How did the business evolve to what it is today?
Yeah, really good question. I mean, from a WesTrac perspective, we've been, I guess, partnering with Caterpillar now for over 30 years. So started off in Western Australia initially, and then more recently in New South Wales and ACT. So so we've been a key partner for Caterpillar through that time, and I mean even this year a real milestone for Caterpillar, 100-year celebration. Years. So we've been a real key partner for Caterpillar in the, I'll say, the growth of Australia, whether it's the growth in mining, the growth in construction and infrastructure over the last 30 years.
A lot of growth through there. What does it take to get a grey 100-year anniversary coloured machine? Like, you have to tick a box to get.
Are you invited, or is it a?
I was going to joke a purchase order, but maybe a purchase order and
a couple
and some special favours. So for our special customers, you can get a special 100-year machine. So depending on how special you are, you can definitely you can get one.
Right.
I love it. I think they look great.
Yeah, it's different. It's good. It's good to see that they're bringing something different.
Yeah, it is. Cool. And to that point, we were quite selective around what we brought in, and obviously they're quite popular. So so we've been selective around who gets them too.
I want my car in Centenary grey. I love it. You see the BMWs have that sort of similar
colour.
Yeah, but no, we can't. I can't afford that.
No, you just think when it comes off the floor. And go, yeah.
Look, whether you are the chief executive or an apprentice mechanic, when you're working in this industry, you've obviously got a passion for it. What first drew you into machinery, equipment, construction, mining?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I joined WesTrac after I was actually at a Patrick Stevedores. So most people would know Patrick Stevedores. And I moved back to Newcastle, actually, because my father wasn't well and needed to get home.
Yeah.
And I got asked a few times from the previous CEO, Greg Graham, to come meet him. And really out of politeness, I was enjoying what I was doing. I was actually doing a bit of consulting for the mining industry at that time, but I went and met Greg at Tomago, our WesTrac Tomago facility, and I went there after telling my wife that I'll go to be courteous, that I don't really need to get back into this.
No, I just want to say hello to Greg.
I'll do the right thing and spend some time with Greg. And I met Greg, met the head of HR, a guy called Patrick Maher, and then they took me around the facility, and I got to say, I mean, the facility at Tomago was world class.
Brand new, probably then, Billy.
Yeah, it was very new.
Still feels new.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean the pride. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 14 years old now.
Is
so
it?
so yeah, we do put a lot of time and effort into the site. So yeah, so I met Greg, walked around the site, and look, I've always been a blue collar, like industrial guy.
Yeah.
Like that's what I love. And walking around that facility, I just like gone, this is for me.
Bit of yellow paint.
Yeah, and so I'll acknowledge I probably initially it was the blue collar industrial. Like I love working with trades, love working with leaders. I love the operations. So I went in and originally I was the general manager of product support.
Oh yeah.
And I still remember Greg Graham said to me a few weeks in, he goes, you mightn't love like the yellow machines today, but you soon will.
You soon will.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't long. Like I'm talking months. Like it doesn't take long to get that yellow injection.
No, we've been lucky as customers and with the tour that Chris Gander so gracefully gave us of the facility to see it all. And as we have an interest for that too, the technology there, the heavy industry there, the professionalism, it's got it all. As someone who loves the industry, it's a great day out if you can get into
even just
Tomago.
that viewing little station up there, you can go and have a look at the automatic picking machine. It's just
auto stores.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah, and what we like, obviously Tomago as a facility is amazing. It's been really good that from a group perspective, there's been a lot of investment even since it was built in that facility. So, I mean, as you're getting around, like one of our first investments was the machine shop.
Right.
So I know from my time when I started at WesTrac, we used to send out a lot of
Farm it out.
a lot of machining work, and it's not just WesTrac. Sure, we've invested in it, but one of the challenges in Australia is just a lack of investment in, I'll call it engineering and machining. So we've got some great suppliers, and we still do a lot of work with them. But it's been really nice. Like we've spent tens of millions of dollars investing in the machine shop to make sure we've got equipment. And one of the things that I guess we're really proud of, like fitter machinists, we're putting on apprentices every year in fitter machining.
Yeah.
If you look back and
that's my old trade.
Yeah, 30, 40 years ago, there were lots of fitter machinists apprentices being put on through state rail and electrician commissions and BHP and those, I'll say, really strong institutions. So it's been a real nice thing to be able to, I'll say, bring back some of those skills.
Some of that skill into that shop, yeah.
And Tomago is undeniably world class, but do you get around, say, we recently drove past Grafton facility, an older facility, but do you get around and visit everybody?
Well, I'm going there tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
There you go.
So I'm actually, this afternoon I'll go see the team at Coffs Harbour.
Yeah, great.
Yep.
And then
the bypass team, is there?
Well, no, we've actually got a branch at Coffs Harbour.
Right.
So a small branch.
Yeah.
So really good team at Coffs Harbour. We put a branch there in advance of the bypass going in to support our customers.
Definitely.
It's not a big branch, but an amazing team, provide excellent service for the bypass, and that'll go, and hopefully we can make sure that we'll keep supporting the customers through there, and then I'll be in Grafton tomorrow, see the team in Grafton.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. I've never really got to, back in the day when I was with you guys, we went around and visited. I believe we have been through Grafton, but yeah. I'm not really familiar with too many of the other branches
before.
Yeah.
Yep. In the Grafton branch. Been a fair few of them.
We're going to break through the fourth wall of the podcast, and it just struck me that Woody's actually, I think, coming through town today. It would have been great to stage him coming in the door, the reunion.
No, he could get out and sell a few tractors.
Are you born and bred in Newcastle? You said you came back.
Yeah, so I was born in Newcastle. I grew up in a town called Cardiff, western suburbs.
Mate, my wife's from Cardiff.
There you go. So I grew up in Cardiff. Went right through school. Cardiff, went to Cardiff High School.
Yeah.
I went right through to Year 12, and I always planned to be an engineer. I used to work on the cars with my old man, and maybe from my lack of skill, he said to me from a very early age, "I think you should be an engineer." He wasn't the type of guy to say a bad word about anyone. He was. So I think that was his subtle way of saying, you need to be you need to take a white collar job, not a blue collar one. And, I think it still had something to do with him putting me in the in our garage. We had a pit, and he used to put me in the pit to change the oil and all those sort of things. And between the redback spiders and the oil in that pit, I reckon that's the reason why I probably chose not to be a mechanic.
And push it. Yeah.
So I ended up out of school. It was actually when BHP had announced their closure. So I finished school in '96, and BHP was closing. Obviously for Newcastle, that was a huge thing. And as much as I wanted to be an engineer, and I applied for some cadetships at BHP, I just was no chance. Yeah. And I ended up getting offered a job as an accountant, a trainee accountant, and through some connections, I ended up at a firm called Cutcher & Neal and spent 5 years there. And I'd say, for me personally, career-wise, a great decision. They looked after me really well. They put you through university. Got to say, for if any of my old workmates watch this, but geez, we used to work hard. We would work 14, 16 hours days, but then at the other end of that, we'd also have a good time. But
I'm picturing Wolf of Wall Street.
It was. You think back on those days. I still remember being a 17-year-old sort of first-year trainee, and my job
after July, like you would just be pumped, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would be. Yeah, it was busy, and we were busy, and I was an auditor too, so we'd sort of have these deadlines. We'd be travelling all over the place, which you learn a lot. You see a lot of businesses, and if I think back now, just little things like you see lots of businesses, you see the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you learn a lot from that. Yeah, even when you're a 17-year-old, and obviously you're doing an important job for these companies, and some of the times you're getting brought in when things had gone really bad. Yeah. So you learn a lot from, I'll say, how to do things well and potentially how not to do things, but also you're also a young person dealing with, I'll say, business people, and you have to learn pretty quickly how to deal with them when you come up against difficult circumstances like things like fraud and misappropriation, how to deal with people in an appropriate manner. And, those things that probably with the benefit of hindsight, when you're in it, you sort of just do it. But when you look back, you go, geez, really, it was a really good learning experience.
Yeah, definitely.
You weren't always welcome with open arms coming in as 17-year-old auditor.
No, how many companies go, let's celebrate the auditors coming today.
There you go. Shit, no, yeah.
So you have to learn your people skills. So that was good. But even just the things that you do as a first-year trainee, no different to being a first-year apprentice. I used to do the important jobs like get sausage rolls for morning tea and go to the TAB to put everyone's bets on during the day and those sort of things. So you just learn, you just got to do what you got to do, and then obviously over time you're doing different work too.
Yeah,
it's funny you mentioned the sausage rolls. At a previous employer, when I worked before I started my business, I was working for a company in Newcastle, and we had the auditors there. And every Friday we would get the mini sausage rolls and things in, and I remember giving them to the auditors, and they were shocked. It's like I don't think they'd be greeted with sausage rolls very often.
Well, so
probably more than what you think.
It's probably the same shop. It was a bakery on Union Street that did the mini sausage rolls that I used to go to. So,
load it up.
Yeah, that was my job, most important job of the day.
These were minis as well. They were from Pies to the Max on Industrial Drive as you go through Wickham there. I'd be interested offline to compare sausage rolls after this.
So did you continue your accountancy after this?
So I was in that accounting firm for 5 years, and I just got to a point that I was the manager of the firm at a pretty young age. The manager went over to the UK, as a lot of young Australians do, and he was coming back, and going, do I really want to be an auditor? And I ended up taking a job as a graduate accountant at OneSteel, so the offshoot of BHP, and my whole family had worked in the steel industry, so it was obviously being in Newcastle, pretty easy thing to do. And sure, it wasn't BHP and it wasn't what it was, but OneSteel in itself was still a very, very big business.
Massive business.
So I took a graduate accountant role, working at OneSteel. Ironically, for my current CFO was my boss's boss at the time. So took that role. Got eventually very quickly put into the Newcastle rod mill, which is actually still there and operating. And I was cost accountant with a fancy title called a business analyst. And I spent a lot of time on the floor with the guys. They were all guys back then on the floor. And so I didn't have a lot to do. I spent a lot of time going, how do we make this place better? The steel industry, as Australian manufacturing, was going through a bit of starting to go through a challenging spot where China was starting to emerge as a real competitor. And so we were trying to drive improvements through a very hard industrial environment. And so I spent a lot of time on the floor. I spent a lot of time in the office with after hours with my manager at that time, a fellow called Scott O'Connor, dealing with industrial issues, everything from death threats and all sorts of things. So it was a pretty young,
unionised area.
Pretty young fellow, starting to see, I'll say once again, the good, bad, and the ugly of I'll say Australian industrials. But look, I really loved it. I then got, I'll say, quite a few quick promotions through the commercial finance area, and then I had one of our general managers, or my general manager at the time, a fellow called John Barbagallo, say, you should, why don't you go run this, or it's the Sydney bar mill at Rooty Hill. So I went down there in my mid-20s to run a steel mill. So it was my first.
In Rooty Hill, was it?
At Rooty Hill, yeah.
Wow.
Rooty Hill. Rooty Hill RSL stayed there for a while.
It's synonymous with every politician's salt of the earth pre-election campaign push. It doesn't get any more salt of the earth.
Yeah, well, it used to be called Vegas of the West.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they like to call themselves that anymore. But so Rooty Hill, there's a, and it's still there, the steel mill in Rooty Hill. So there's a mini mill that uses recycled steel, and right behind it is a bar mill that produces bar, like reinforcing bar, right through to, back then we were doing spring steel for automotive and all sorts of things. So, so that really got me my first taste of, I call it real industrial leadership. So 150 people, a steel plant that, we were, I'll say, needing to compete better against the Chinese, and then, I progressed through One Steel in a few different roles, and then eventually, after 10 years at One Steel, probably made a decision that I needed to do something different, because at that time I was 30 or 30, it would have been 30 at that time, and gone, do I want to do steel forever? A little bit like the audit. Do I want to do audit forever? Do I want to do steel forever? And I ended up leaving One Steel, and the week after I resigned, I accepted a job at Patrick Stevedores. So ended up on the waterfront. And look, I thought I knew industrial and what was tough, but the waterfront's a different world. And I mentioned earlier, my father wasn't well, so I actually moved back to Newcastle, took a commercial job to be home.
Yeah.
And then we ended up winning quite a large contract on the Gorgon project with Chevron. And even though I was the finance guy, I ended up over in the West running this I'll say landside facility for Patrick, on the Gorgon project. So spent a couple of years over there, and so you learn a lot. We took over from another contractor that wasn't probably delivering what they needed to, and there was a lot of learnings around how do you treat people. We had everyone from bikies to drug dealers and all sorts of interesting characters on that side. But at the end of the day, you learn a lot of things through those, I'll say, tough times where you're dealing with people that you just want to treat them with respect. And it is amazing when you treat people well and you just treat people with respect, how often you get it back.
Yep.
And we ended up turning that site from, I'll say, a site with a lot of conflict to a site where we were breaking records and delivering really good outcomes. So that was once again, you get a lot of learnings from those tough times.
Definitely, yeah.
But, you talk about work ethic and working hard. Like you'd be at start a shift. You'd be at work before 6 a.m.
Yep.
And then you'd be at that time with the ops manager. We used to have dinner together. We'd go have Chinese and for dinner together, and we'd be debriefing at 9 p.m.
Yeah,
getting ready for the next day. So there's some really good learnings from being away. And as much as it's tough being away, like especially at that point, I was literally fly in, fly out, because I had my family back in Newcastle. Like I said, I wanted to see my father. You learn a lot when you're away and you're just bunkering
Full-time
down
work.
and all you do is work.
Yep.
So like I said, I left Patrick and then joined WesTrac, and it's been a fantastic journey. I mean, WesTrac is a great company to work for. We have great people, like Buddy's just a example of a lot of the great people that we have. And then to top it all off, I mean, we represent one of the best brands in the world.
Yeah,
Definitely.
And so it's just what I do today. Like I love it.
Love it. Yep.
Yeah, I love what I do. It's a privilege to lead, I'll say, such a great group of people and represent a brand like Caterpillar.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd imagine your conflict resolution duties wouldn't be as prevalent as they were back then in the West, dealing with some of that stuff.
No, I mean, we still have our, most businesses, especially on the East Coast, still have a heavily unionised influence. Yep. I think if our industry had some of the challenges the waterfront would have, I think we'd be, and I say whether it's construction, albeit mining's going through some of that again at the moment. Yep. There's industrial action.
Yeah.
There's no winners out of that.
A lot of work and money.
Well, it's the thing. I mean, the people it hurts the most is the people that are not working. They don't get paid. And I mean, in today's environment, it'd be pretty rare to find a person that's not feeling the cost of living pressures.
That's right. Yeah.
So they're the things that I don't know. I appreciate we're here to talk about me and WesTrac, but from a country perspective, we've got a few problems in that area that we've got to deal with. Otherwise, we're just going to hurt ourselves.
Oh, we're here to talk about whatever you want to, and I think that's one of my next questions was how do you balance your corporate responsibilities with the connection with the people on the ground and staying connected to exactly what we're talking about now, the state of the country.
Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, as you're doing a role like this, you have to. I don't like it, but you have to spend time on some of the political stuff.
Yeah.
Last week, I was at Parliament House in Sydney, working through a matter, and just trying to influence government, or in this case, the department, to actually make change, just to make it easier. And in that case, we're talking about police escorts, right?
Yes.
Like we're trying to get equipment to sites, and look, there's obviously factors with the police that. And I've said this to the minister. I get that police have more important things than moving yellow bits of gear around, and I get that. But we need an alternative that doesn't take police away from dealing with
WA.
Yeah, exactly. So the issues. So that was actually our lobbying to say we just need to do what other states do and let us use private contractors.
Yeah, I've got a two-part follow-up to that. One, Reese and I were on a project in Queensland the other week. We're shooting through the night with a haulage company. And to see where each of the police escorts come from just to do that 1.5 hour move. One drove 5 hours from Moree, and it was Moree, wasn't it? Goondiwindi.
See, Queensland, they do all escorts are overtime. Yeah. So it's only if the police want to do overtime you get an escort.
They told us that they were there, they just wanted the OT. And the other thing was on the way home, we'd be coming home at midnight, and the police station at every roadworks as well. Yeah. It's a lot of resource allocated for things that do that. Yeah.
And I think it's good, sure. Let's pay the police OT. They deserve it.
Yeah, 100%, absolutely.
But the challenge, the reality is they're obviously getting enough OT. There's not enough police. And the government's trying to deal with that. There's record intakes at Goulburn. But we need solutions next week and next month. Yeah. So they're the things that I don't love doing, but you just know is important.
It's right.
Not just for WesTrac, it's for our customers. Yeah. It's for the transport providers. It's obviously even for yourself. Because the time and money that gets wasted. And our biggest challenge as an economy is we're not getting efficient. We all want to be a wealthy country and successful, but we have to become more efficient. We've got to be more innovative. And when you've got regulation holding lots of businesses back, that's a problem for the long term.
Yeah. But I think that's great that you guys are actually down there pushing this barrow because
absolutely. And I also feel quite special the fact that you were lobbying at Parliament House last week and you're hearing Kempsey chatting to us about yellow iron. So thank you, Adrian.
No problem at all.
That's good.
What are some of the main priorities for WesTrac right now across your key operating areas?
Yeah, right now at the moment, I'll say I might segment into our different markets. Probably start with mining. At the moment, like a lot of our customers are thermal coal customers, so they're feeling it as thermal coal prices have come off. So they're definitely in cost reduction mode. So from our perspective, from WesTrac, just working with our customers to help them, I'll say, make sure they're sustainable. Because at the end of the day, and I mean, this is a theme that we push really hard and our people believe in. Like, for us to be successful as WesTrac, you need successful customers. So we've just got to work with our customers all day, every day to help them be successful.
Yeah.
So in the mining space at the moment, it's really about how do we work with our customers to reduce their costs. And look, in practice, what does that mean? A lot of it is how do we work with them to defer maintenance? And the interesting thing, we have been working with our customers on, let's say, extending lives of components, condition monitoring all through the good times as well. So the challenge that we have with our customers collectively is you can only defer things so much from this point because things like lives are running longer than they ever have. I'm sure you see it in some of the gear that you buy.
Yep, pushing the hours out.
So that's a priority in mining. In construction, the last couple of years, depending on the customer, but I mean, it's been challenging for construction customers the last couple of years. Weather has been a huge issue, especially for customers around here. Like, I mean, the amount of rain we've had this year and last year. I mean, so just helping customers, making sure they can make money and they can pay their bills. Like, so how do we work with them on that? And there's little things we can do on that, but at the end of the day, we just want them. They need to survive, and then we want them to grow.
Yeah.
So I think construction at the moment, we think we've probably hit a bottom, and we're starting to see some green shoots probably in that residential market at the moment. We'd like to see probably some bigger infrastructure activity kick off. But our priorities are really at the moment working with our construction customers to just make sure they're successful, and then, like I said, help our mining customers deal with hopefully what ends up being a short-term problem.
Yeah. And do you see some of the problems of these our aftermarket competitors coming in and pushing the price down on equipment? And is there is there a solution for that, or does it just keep you on your toes a bit better?
Well, yeah. I mean, if we reflect whether it's 5, 10, 20, 30 years, there's more competition today than there's ever been.
Yeah.
And if you think about my steel industry discussion around China as an emerging player 20 years ago, like they're emerging in other areas, whether it's light vehicles and earth moving. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the thing that differentiates Caterpillar from other brands is the aftermarket support.
Yes.
I mean,
reliability.
Yeah. I mean, we have the most reliable equipment. When there's problems, we're all over them. We work back with Caterpillar engineers to resolve issues. So, I mean, that's our core function is to make sure that we're providing reliable, productive equipment to our customers so they can make money. But, I mean, the aftermarket support goes beyond WesTrac. Yep, sure, there's a lot of support from WesTrac, whether it's parts and service. But, I mean, there's companies like yours, DGI, like there's expressways on the way here that are key, I'll say, partners to make sure that people buy Caterpillar equipment, because if you need something today, the chances are you can probably get it.
Yes.
Whether it's from WesTrac or somebody else.
Yeah.
And yeah, sure, most of our business is new or refurbed, remanufactured, either by WesTrac or by Caterpillar. There's plenty of other alternatives as well to make sure your cat gear operates.
Yeah. And
And so at the end of the day, we'll have more and more competition. But I think what will differentiate Caterpillar to others is if you want to have a productive, reliable machine and make money, you'll buy cat gear.
Yeah.
Like if you just want to dig a hole and you're using it for a bit of fun, okay, you might buy cat if you want to buy the best. But yeah, sure, you can go buy something cheap. But if you're actually in it for the long term and you want to do well, you buy something that's reliable.
So is CAT giving you any influences on when these frame hours are going to stop? Like they've pushed them 50,000, 70, 90, 120.
Yeah, 120. I mean, we're doing 120,000 hour frames now. I mean, that's a great example that, I mean, Caterpillar equipment is built to be rebuilt.
Yeah.
Like we say that, and that's the value. Now, I acknowledge not all customers value the rebuildability of equipment and might just want to buy something and throw it away. And we have to cater for that as well, especially in the construction market. We do have some products there that do offer that, but generally people buy Caterpillar gear if you want to be productive. Those frame houses are phenomenal, and I mean, who knows? They might get another life. Will they get to 160?
You could guarantee that nearly every one of those components wouldn't be the same couldn't you?
Of course, but that's the value, and that'll be I'll say the value of Caterpillar equipment. Probably, unfortunately, as mines start to reach their end of life, where people will not be buying new equipment because they just won't have the life cycle. And like I say, that's disappointing. Like, sure, there'll be mining will continue on in Australia, but it doesn't look like it's going to be anything like it was over the last 20 years. So we've got to, we have to provide that service to our customers.
Yeah. You hear about, like, dare I say, the conspiracy of planned obsolescence with your iPhone that conveniently slows down when the next update's due. It seems pretty apparent that you guys don't have any in place. You need to put the brakes on.
No, we're the exact opposite. And that's the thing. We rebuild a truck.
Yeah.
Obviously, depending on the model, but you can choose to put an autonomy upgrade on
it. And that's another thing.
So there's definitely, like, we talk about productivity, total cost of ownership. Like, that's where we play. And if customers value, like, if they've got a long-term horizon, they're making long-term decisions, they're probably going to buy CAT.
Yeah. No, that sounds right.
A lot of people ask me and they say, you know, the cost to come on to the podcast. This isn't an advertising plug. This is like guys that genuinely love the CAT brand and genuinely wanted to talk to you.
Yeah.
It's the product and the reliability, but it's the people. And we had Brad O'Shaughnessy came on, and one thing he said that really resonated with me is that all machines have the potential to break down, no matter what the OEM. And it's the people that support and are there to pick up the phone when something does go south. Let's talk about the people of CAT now.
Yeah. I mean, let's start, if we talk about breakdowns, technicians. I mean, there's probably no harder job in our business than being a technician when a machine's down and they've got to figure out what's wrong with them.
Wrong, yeah.
And I was chatting to a couple of guys who were doing the diagnostics course for engines actually at the Institute. So we have a training institute at Tomago, and I was just asking how have they found the course, and it's pretty rare that somebody does a course at our institute and they don't go, oh, it's fantastic, I'm learning lots. And I mean, that's a really good example around we need to give our people the skills to resolve issues, because a machine's down, it's costing our customers money. It's that simple. So we have a machine down register, all those sort of things, and if it gets too far, it actually comes to me.
Yep.
And obviously when it comes to me, it's a problem, right? Like, and just trying to make sure that we understand and we're doing everything we can do to get a machine up and running. But whether it's from early diagnosis, which is obviously key, through to, okay, when we know what the problem is, how do we resolve it? And that's, that's a key part of what we train our people to do, whether it's the apprentices that are coming in every year, right through to, let's say, the field service technicians who are really at that pointy end of customer service. Literally customer service.
Do you offer that training to outside the WesTrac?
Oh, so there are courses in the institute that are available to externals.
Okay. Yep.
We have an excessive demand for people wanting to send apprentices to the institute.
Definitely.
We just have to balance
your own.
We've just got to balance our own. So we do accept externals whenever we can. But there's also, probably just getting onto the, I'll say, training political piece. We lose so much money training apprentices, including customer apprentices.
Yeah.
So we are literally doing it for the love in the industry.
And breeding your own competition.
Yeah, and we do. But, I mean, it's pretty rare that we're dealing with someone in the maintenance space that hasn't had some relationship with a dealer, for example.
Definitely. Yeah.
I mean, the number of people I deal with today that were WesTrac apprentices. It's it's something we should be proud of, and we do it for the industry. So if we could get more teachers. We would do more for the industry, but there's just a reality that we already have grown our institute and we do a lot.
You're at limit, yeah.
But I'll tell you, from a government perspective, there's challenges in TAFE, and that is a critical issue for Australia. We talk about skill shortages. We've got to get that apprentice piece right. We get 2,000 applications for our 30 apprenticeships a year.
For the year, wow.
Yeah. And so there's still the demand from young people to make sure that they're joining the industry. And
yeah, that's great.
That probably, you go back to Patrick Cassegrain on here, and his advice for young people is to just go out and make a start, not put too much pressure on yourself now. And then in today's generation, so many people are going out and loading themselves up with massive HECS debts and going through university. And in specific industries and roles, you need to have a university degree. I think you and I can safely say that out of 21 episodes, the majority of people that have come through here that have reached the top of the pyramid left school before the end of it. And I think like there's just so much success to be had in the industrial sector beginning on the tools. How you've obviously sort of answered my question, 32,000 applications. How do you think young people are viewing that as a career route these days?
I mean, when I talk to the apprentices, we've got a graduation coming up. Like they are like to graduate as a dealer apprentice, like you are the elite of the elite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, even to get into the
squad,
you're elite. And I mean, this is we're not we don't we pick the best of the best.
Yeah.
We're very deliberate around we want the best people. And we're very deliberate around making sure we're picking apprentices who demonstrate good work ethic, and because that's so important, because we don't want to, even for most of them young people, they're not all young people, but most of them, we don't want to, say, give someone an opportunity, somebody misses out and then they drop out halfway through, because that's just unfair for, let's say, for the people that missed out. So, and at the end of the day, we want the best people for WesTrac and the best people for the industry.
How many of those 30 would be year 10 only?
Year 10 only? It'd be, I can't quote a number, but this is, like you might get ageism based on the faces that I see. I'd say half.
Well, okay.
I'd say half.
That's great from WesTrac.
Yep.
Like, taking them on at year 10, instead of going, no, you got to go 11, 12, but they're just wasting their time.
Yeah, the biggest challenge that we work on from an age perspective is driver's license.
Yep.
Because it's just a practicality that we don't want mum and dad dropping someone at work to start a shift at 6 or 7 a.m. every day.
Every day, yeah.
So that's
one of the boxes.
That's a box.
You start lobbying for that too. Lowering the driving
age. I think they do that in Victoria, but at least they used to. But the other thing we look for, if there's any young people listening to this that want to do an apprenticeship at WesTrac, we look for people that have done the pre-apprenticeships. Because we know that school is not for everyone. Sure, I went to year 12, I went to university, got through it somehow. And we are after people with good work ethic that we can train them the right way young, because anyway, we'll talk about the things I learned as a young accountant. Like, you just learn to work hard, and if you can, what the work ethic that you learn, I don't know, probably until you're 30 or even until you have children, like really takes you through for the rest of your career. So we're really after those. Oh, look, we have a bias for kids that. I say kids, the younger people that demonstrated their things, like, we had a young person who was doing part-time work at a scrapyard.
Yep.
And you see that on the resume. If if a 16, 17-year-old kid's taken the initiative to do that, then they've got something about them. So, and then so they're the things that we look for, as well as we actually run a assessment centre. So as much as there's a bit of the resume and interviews, there's actually hands-on mechanical skills, as well as problem-solving exercise, as well as a collaboration teamwork exercise. So,
do you get a fuel pump and go, here, pull this apart, put it back together?
So we give the basic instructions as you would, and it just tests the difference between, I'll say, the people that have have actually got some genuine interest in mechanical versus those that have just applied for the job because their parents have asked or told them to.
Should get that job. Yeah.
We were lucky to go through the institute and out that backyard there where you guys have components and equipment that they can, use as real life examples to work on. It's cool that exists.
Yeah,
there.
and it's really important. I mean, we've invested a lot in the institute, whether it's from equipment, real equipment that operates, and then let's say some things that might have been insurance jobs and all the rest around how do you actually fix this, right through to let's say the designed skill testing for electrical around. Okay, the trainer will put an electrical fault in the training aid and go, okay, now you've got to find it. So yeah, we're very deliberate around making sure that the people going through the institute, WesTrac and customers, get a good experience.
Yeah. And like you've got your own like a call centre that your fitters can call back to as well, don't you?
Oh yes, yeah, our technical support team. So we've got a lot of, I'll say the superstar technicians that have, let's say whether their bodies, their minds, they've had enough of being out in the field.
Yep.
That provide support to and not just to our technicians, to customers as well.
Yeah, okay.
So when things get a bit tricky, we call on the experience, and they have access to libraries and it'll be interesting how that job changes over the next couple of years as AI becomes a real thing in the field.
Yep.
So we're very close to launching more AI for technicians and customers. To actually work on problem solve and do work instructions.
Yeah, watch your space.
Yeah, watch your space, and I'll put a plug out there to our customers. I mean, get onto VisionLink, get onto Cat Central. There's a lot there today, but there's going to be more coming, and it's going to come quick and fast.
It'll help them a lot. Yeah.
Oh, well, hopefully it already helps them now. Yep. I look at our usage from a customer base. I'll say we've got a core group of customers that use it and use it really well. And then other customers that are, I'll say, not there yet. And some of this will change as generations change as well. But the amount of data on VisionLink, Cat Central around machines, and just simple things from fuel consumption, idle time, operator abuse.
Yep.
Like I'm sure every equipment owner out there would like to know if somebody's not doing the right thing with their
by
price
tracking
position.
all of that.
Yeah, just from the telematics. So so there's more and more data there. So that's definitely a space we're doing a lot as Caterpillar is.
Yeah.
How handy are you with Cat Sys?
Cat Sys. I'll say now with some of the tech upgrades a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I go to Sys and I've had to because I don't have the trade background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sure I know more today than I did when I started, but geez, I used to be in Sys looking at stuff daily when I was in ops.
Yeah.
It's probably days I wish I probably could go back into Sys and do some of that stuff. But in my previous role regularly, but even now when I use it, because I'm not a heavy user, we have a Sys 2.0.
Do you have full access? I wish I had it.
Yeah, I do. You can just type things in and things come up a lot quicker too. So it makes it a lot easier for part-time users like me.
I have seen 2.0 on a screen, and for context, when I started in the industry, I was marketing manager, but I was doing sales on the side to just learn the product. And Buddy was my first ever customer. That's how we know each other. And I just got thrown into Sys, and I had very limited mechanical background or knowledge. And it was a big learning curve to work my way down the rabbit hole. And I've seen 2.0 now, and I just think, wow, that would have been handy.
Pretty handy.
Yeah, it is. And you're right. Like, especially for me, I came in, you'd use Sys for things, and you'd sort of sometimes get there and sometimes not. But now, 2.0.
You're right, yeah.
It was rewarding when you got to where you wanted to be. Yeah. It was a challenge.
Or I'd just go ask some of the, our tech communicators is what we used to call them back then. Go, can you help us out on this one?
Better than microfiche.
I only learned about that recently. I'm a bit young. The AI obviously is coming into every industry and every facet of society. What else do you see as the biggest opportunities in the mining and construction sectors over the next, say, decade?
Yeah, the next decade. Well, I might start shorter term. I mean, at the moment, our big push on the use of AI is, I'll say, with the digital tools, condition monitoring, and pushing the right alerts to our customers. But the AI is really helping us provide quality work instructions, either from diagnose to repair, whether it's for our own people and customers. Some customers would have already seen this, maybe not known it was AI. So we're already starting to push work instructions with the use of AI, because that's the difference with AI, that you can get all the telematic data and work out what the problem is, but where it actually helps our people, in particular our condition monitoring analysts, to go, yep, we agree that's a problem. Find me the work instructions, and the AI will just give the work instructions in a detailed form.
Okay.
So, and then the other benefit that we have now, obviously working with Caterpillar and a global network, is we give feedback when we don't agree. So that's as important as when it's right. When it's wrong, when we say it's wrong, give feedback. So eventually, hopefully the next time, but soon after, it will come back right. So we're in that early phase at the moment around the use of AI in the context of condition monitoring, but just like with all this tech at the moment, it's going to accelerate.
So what I seen in the USA last year was the extra power required for AI and all this advancement in technology, that they had like 3516s powered up in a bank to run all this AI. Are we seeing any of that in
energy
Australia?
consumption?
Yeah. So we data centers is a big thing all over the world, but yes, it is in Australia. We have a business in Australia called Energy Power Systems Australia that does that work for data centers. So yeah, huge industry. The actual challenge here is, how do we provide the engines? How do we make sure that we can keep up? And Caterpillar's investing a large amount of money in new facilities for engines. Because a lot of the engines are actually, they overlap with the mining engines too.
Yeah, and that's what I'm seeing. There's a bit of a shortage of some of these engine parts and components because they're all getting pushed aside.
Yeah, and you'll see, like in the US in particular, there is a shortage of electricity, and there's data centers now being built on top of gas reserves and being prime powered by Cat engines.
Yeah.
So, look, will we see that in Australia? Maybe. But once again, this depends on, you're starting to get into a big debate then around how we're actually going to produce our energy when we do not have thermal coal
Available
power stations.
Yep.
Like, data centers is not going away. People are not going to stop wanting to use electricity. And yes, renewables, of course, have their place.
Yes.
But there's probably going to be an end of something that we're going to have to figure out.
Definitely. Yeah, that's what I've seen. That they could have helped WesTrac, like supplying these engines.
Yeah, I mean, we supply backup engines to the data centres in Australia today. The question will be, do we end up supplying prime power to data centres? In Australia, definitely not in the short term. I mean, gas is expensive for prime power. There's a place for gas for peaking energy. We're going to need peaking energy to support renewables.
Yes.
We'll just have to.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other way around it. Obviously, batteries got a part to play. We're in batteries as well through EPSA. So we're definitely in that space for, I'll say, supporting, say, AI data centres and the power needs of many companies in Australia.
Going forward, yeah.
Western Sydney is just a hive of development activity with data centre construction. It's phenomenal. The size of some of these buildings as well. Yeah.
And I mean, that's an area we provide support. Obviously, support for all our customers is important, but for those, like Amazon's had issues with services this week.
Yes.
And there's the need and the pain that companies are going through. The reliability of data centers is so important, and we have very, very strict contracts with our data center customers to make sure that their backup power is able to kick in very
straight
quickly.
away. Yeah, okay.
Are you aware of Elon Musk's newer venture in America where they're building AI data centers for their own AI development purposes? And he's had like an ongoing beef with Bill Gates and Microsoft over the years. The new company's called Macro Hard. And they're these huge factories, and on the roof in like 100-meter long word, just macro hard. That's the
and that's it. I mean, it's huge in the US.
Yeah.
It's going to be huge around the world. And that's the thing, that sort of the genie's out of the bottle now around AI.
Yeah.
In itself, I'll say it's self-fulfilling, because the AI, as more people use it, they realise the benefits of it. The AI creates more demand for AI. Like you start writing new programs, code, whatever, and probably for anyone, like you just need to start getting into it, because it's just going to hit us.
Yeah.
It's gone past the point of, is this person using AI in this role, to you should be using AI in your role, and you should be good at using AI in your role.
Yep.
It's not just a matter of deleting an M dash out so nobody knows you took that paragraph from ChatGPT. There's a bit more to it now.
And I mean, I have a role in my business to encourage people to use it. Like only yesterday, I was just saying hello to, interrupted a meeting, and they showed me where they were using AI to, in this case, they wrote an agent to take minutes, specific minutes for this type of meeting. And okay, that's I'll say relatively simple task, but that will save someone 5 or 10 or 15 minutes. That's 10, 15 minutes. And these were customer service people that hopefully they'll be able to spend those 10 or 15 minutes doing something proactive for a customer, rather than just doing minutes or actions out of a meeting. So, I mean, they're the most very simple things, but to your point, we want people using AI to save time. And I said, our technicians already have some of it. There'll be more and more coming. Our customers already have some of it. Like I said, they may not know they've got it, but there'll be more, I'll say, overt AI tools for our customers very soon. So, and at the end of the day, you've got to have a problem you're trying to solve, but sometimes you also don't know that you can just save so much time by using it. So that's part of our role. We've got a lot of the data. Between Caterpillar and WesTrac, invested a lot in digital, and how do we actually help our customers, I'll say, monetize, get benefit from this.
Essentially, all of us here in this room, our destinies are being fulfilled in some way, shape or form by resources, and the most valuable resource on earth is time. So if we can, save a bit for ourselves and help streamline things in any way, shape or form, it's very valuable.
Save a lot of labour around, wouldn't it?
Yep, it's our biggest.
Yep.
I mean, it'd be very rare I talk to a customer that doesn't talk about labour, people being their biggest constraint.
Yep.
That's the sort of macro environmental piece. What do you see as the greatest potential for transformation in machines?
In machines, yes.
Actual machines,
Yeah, so talk about AI for machines. So if you look at CAT machines today, there's a level of autonomy, like whether it's call it machine guidance in construction. I mean,
GPS.
GPS guidance. So like there wouldn't be many earth moving businesses in Australia that wouldn't have a level of GPS. I mean, you can't almost, there's jobs you can't even get on without GPS. So, I mean, if you think back when I started 10 years ago, that was still a bit of a new thing. Today, it's pretty well run of the mill. If you're not using 2D, 3D,
you won't get on.
Now, you're behind everyone.
Yeah.
What'll happen? I think there's functions on CAT machines that I think people will be able to talk to the machine to be able to get it to do things. Like that'll happen, I'll say reasonably soon, whether it's a year or 2 years.
Yeah.
But I think the big thing that I think will be transformational, and it'll be interesting around how our customers, how do we work with our customers to do this, is it's just like remote operation to start with. Now, okay, that's not AI, that's not new, but we have challenges with people, and if we can actually start by doing remote operations, people having to travel less, people being able to come to the same, let's say, nice facility every day, they can go home to their families every night. On the back of that, there is semi-autonomous and autonomous technology available today, and it's going to keep coming. So I'll say the customers, earth-moving contractors that can really start to get their head around remote operations. Eventually, how does one operator operate 3 or 4 machines? How that will start to give, I'll say in the future, competitive advantage, and then you'll lay AI over the top, where the machines will just get smarter and smarter and smarter.
Yeah,
that'll become a real competitive advantage. And from what I've seen, like you go to the Peoria Proving Grounds, for example, there's already the operator stations sitting there being tested.
Yeah,
a operator operating multiple machines, more autonomy without a sophisticated AI layer over the top. So this will just, I use that term accelerate. This will just keep accelerating over the coming years.
And you've only got to look outside the industry, because you look into aerospace, and like Lockheed Martin, they only just released the other week I don't know the name of it, so I'm not going to pretend to and stuff it up on here, but it's essentially an F-35 jet's travelling along, and now they've got these 2 autonomous wingmen, and they're fully AI talking back to the jet. That exists. So whether it's remote, drone operation on the other side of the world, how do you bring that into the machinery space? It exists there. It can exist over here.
This is coming.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So Caterpillar, there's some of it already. I mean, we have autonomous trucks running around Western Australia and Queensland. Like, it's there. It exists from an autonomy perspective. It will only get better. And from a construction perspective, you would have seen the customers that had adopted the GPS 3D, especially if they're the contractors paying for the final job. It's not just a hire job.
A hire job, yeah.
Yeah, they're saving money and making money through that.
Every cut, yeah.
There's not many customers I talk to, if any, that don't have challenges with operators.
Yeah. And
all this tech just helps operators do their jobs better, and it's almost a necessity, and it'll become more of a necessity as, let's say, as people get harder to get.
Harder to get.
In the world unmanned aerial vehicle drone racing championships, it was won by an AI drone the other day. So humans are no longer as good as the AI is at flying that particular thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can buy a fully autonomous Tesla car in Australia now. Yeah. So you can just.
I don't know. I was driving my wife's the other day, and I couldn't get it to put the autopilot. I don't trust it yet. I do the semi-autonomous one. It's pretty crazy, but I don't know. The cameras were dirty, and I still don't trust it.
And that's the process that you have to go through, right?
Yeah,
The tech will get better, but I mean, the fact that it's legal, you can do it. It just shows it's coming.
Yeah, 100%. As we reach the end of the episode and watching the timer tick away over there, we run through our segment called 5 Quick Ones, and we're just going to hit you with some rapid fire questions. My first one is, and I don't know if you've already touched on it, what's the most memorable project that you've been a part of in your career, or whether it be at WesTrac?
Good question. I think the toughest project, I spoke about that, working for Patrick on the Gorgon project. That was tough. It was my first job in Western Australia.
Away from home.
Yeah, it was my first real operational job on the waterfront. I was away from home.
Yeah.
It was tough. There was a lot of pressure from the customer. I learnt a lot in a very quick time around, I said, whether it's dealing with people, but also just how do you work to get a team together to deliver outcomes when you've got influencers there that are actively trying to make it fail.
Yep.
One thing you can't start the day without.
I'm addicted to coffee.
Coffee. There you go.
I've had this discussion. I'm actually addicted to coffee.
Yep.
I'll acknowledge it.
What's your favourite cafe in Newcastle?
Favourite cafe in Newcastle? I actually go to Sherwood's in Parry Street, and I stopped and hesitated because that's where I go because my kids like it. So my kids asked to go to Sherwood. I'd say the best coffee, and I'll put a plug out there. If I'm after a good coffee, I'll go to Lord's in Hamilton.
Yep.
And it's good to good to go there too. It's a bit of fun.
Near the train crossing.
No, it's actually down.
The mullet guy.
Yeah, the mullet guy. And I've forgotten his name. I apologise.
Yeah.
But he's a lot of fun early in the morning.
I do. He is a lot of fun. But my favourite breakfast in Newcastle is Mockingbirds directly across the road.
Yep.
So I'm kind of torn because the good coffee's there, the food's there.
You can have one of each.
Yeah. Man, the first time I ever walked in that shop, laughing, thinking about it, he said to me, here to fill your cup with some warm caffeine, are you? And I was just like, what? And that was my first experience walking into Lord's.
Yeah, he's a good fella.
He is a great guy. What's your favourite way to switch off outside of work?
Yeah, well, I have 3 kids, so my life outside of work is entertaining my kids.
Yep.
And I've got a daughter and 2 young boys, and the 2 young boys they're 5 and 6. They're at a nice age, so it's pretty easy to switch off when they come in. They want to cuddle, they want to kick a ball, they want to wrestle.
They're about to start fighting, I tell you.
Oh, they are fighting. Yeah, the youngest is a smaller one too, and he's I say to my wife, he's ready to be a hooker in rugby league. He's ready to get his head in that scrum.
Good one.
Did you play footy when you were younger?
I grew up playing soccer actually.
Yep.
So like I said, I grew up in Cardiff. Cardiff is it's really strong soccer area. So I just ended up playing soccer because that's just what everyone did, and still love it.
Azuri, you remember them?
Azuri, yeah, I played for Hamilton Azuri.
Oh, did you?
Actually, not Charlestown Azuri now, but I played for Hamilton Azuri as when I was a bit older.
My uncle was a president there.
There you go. So I spent a fair bit of time playing soccer, juniors and seniors for Cardiff South and Cardiff.
All right. Yeah. A person in the industry you most respect?
I'll call out two former bosses. I mentioned a fella called John Barbagallo. So he's not in the earth moving industry, but he was the guy that said, okay, you've got some leadership in you. Mm-hmm. Go and run that steel mill. Okay. So I'll call him out. And the other guy I'd like to call out, Greg Graham, who was the previous chief executive. I've got a lot of time for Greg, and he brought me in, but obviously you got to learn the industry.
He was tough.
Yeah, and he was tough. And the thing is, Greg knew a lot around productivity because he used to be on the stopwatch for Caterpillar doing productivity work. So we had a common interest around wanting our customers to be successful, and in that, I'll say that relationship just worked really well. I had all the trades, I had most of the people. We were growing quickly. He was a really good support.
Yeah. It's good.
Do you think you can get him on the podcast for us?
Oh, he'd love a chat. He's a great person to chat to. Yeah. I think you should.
He's very travelled experience.
Oh, yeah. So, he's really, really good person, and he'd be very, very, very good on the podcast.
We'd appreciate the intro. This is 5 quick ones. We're at about 8 thus far, and I've actually got 2 more.
I've got another one too.
Yeah, okay. We're going to keep going. Sorry, Adrian.
That's fine.
When you were in the West and you were debriefing at 9 o'clock at night, what was your order at Chinese? What's your favourite Chinese meal?
Geez, they're going back a while. So I remember the restaurant was Mr. Wong's.
Yeah,
Mr. Wong's.
Of course.
I don't know if it's still there.
I bet your F-Ops machine was broken too.
What was...
It's not working today, sorry.
Well, I remember, so I used to sit there with a guy called Damien Burton, and I think when he started, he was probably a bit more picky than me, but no, just standard stuff like fried rice, Mongolian beef. Yeah. I'm still a big fan of Australian Chinese. Give me sweet and sour pork and some white rice.
Yep.
One of my favourite Chinese restaurant names of all time, it's in Lambton, is Paul's Asian Affair. It is one of the best business names I've ever heard. Paul's Asian Affair.
Yeah, I'll give it a plug. It's
good too.
It's good, and Paul's a good guy.
Yeah, no, it's great. Well, what's your last question before I ask my last question?
Can you let out any secrets of a Caterpillar machine coming up, like a high-performance circle out of a 24 coming, or anything like that?
There are some, I'll say, improvements coming on the motor graders. So and you'll see even on the model numbers now, like we've dropped the letters.
Yep.
So
are you going to bring them back?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I don't make those calls. There's obviously marketing people in Caterpillar, but no, there's a lot of product enhancements coming. In terms of new machines, I think the things that will come, and a lot of this relates to customer demand, which has changed. It'll be battery electric machines. So you'll start to see, look, from a Caterpillar WesTrac perspective, we see there's more. I'll say it's more realistic to be using a combination of the dynamic energy transfer (DET), which was launched at Mine Expo, with a diesel electric machine. So I mean, there's a whole another topic around the call it the transition, but I mean the biggest challenge for miners is their electrical infrastructure. The equipment will be available for many people. It's the ability to actually operate it. So so there will be, you'll see more in that space, but a lot of it will be customer dependent because if they need it, we'll do it.
And the infrastructure supports it.
Yeah.
The last question we ask everybody, if you could go back and give your 18-year-old self any one bit of advice, what would it be?
My 18-year-old self, I think for me, I felt like a rush, like everything was a rush when I was young.
Yep.
And I just wanted to do lots of stuff. And I think the ability to step back and reflect on what's gone well, what hasn't gone well, I think probably advice to myself on that. But, I mean, I've been very lucky. I talked about the opportunities I was given out of school. I had a good life. Like my parents were really good to me. I had good mates. Like at that age, other than just being a larrikin and maybe partying too much and doing things that just lucky you could do then because there weren't as many cameras around. Other than that, I'd just say I was probably busy.
Yep.
Maybe too busy. I didn't stop and reflect and sometimes appreciate the things that you had.
Appreciate it.
Which you tend to, as you get a bit older, reflect. You go, geez, it was really good.
Yeah.
That really hits home.
That was really good, Adrian. I wouldn't have picked you as an accountant.
And also, you're lucky there wasn't cameras because you guys, if you're watching, Adrian's incredibly tall, and we've joked about this. We would have picked you on camera pretty easily in a crowd of blokes that had done something they shouldn't have. I think.
Yeah, that is very true. I was, just for the record, I hope you're still recording. I was the most sensible one out of my whole group of mates, so I don't have too much to regret there.
There you go,
Bob.
And you've just saved us from the approval process. Maybe it's tied it up. We won't have to make too many edits here. So thank you.
No problem.
Right. Thanks, Adrian.
Thank you very much, mate.
No, my pleasure.
Thanks for coming in.
Awesome.
Thank you.